Hey guys, Luke here for Midlife Guitar. Today I'm going to be talking about guitar frustration when you're learning as a beginner. So last week I didn't have a very good week in terms of progression with the guitar. So I am on the Justin Guitar course, if you don't know, and I do journey videos, and I just wanted to talk about what it's like going through that frustration, but more importantly, how you can overcome those things. So I've got 11 tips for you today on how you can deal with guitar frustration. The first tip I had was about managing expectations. So if you're learning and you've just done 20 or 30 hours roughly, which is pretty much what I've done, and you are thinking that you can play something by Clapton, for example, while you're learning other songs and trying to progress on a course to sort of learn the fundamentals of guitar, then it's just not going to happen. You need to sort of think long term and break each thing down, each song down, into portions, into stages. And I started to do that with my project song, but I kind of lost focus on the course itself in that same respect. So I should approach it, think, well, it doesn't matter how long it's going to take me. If it takes me 10 hours, if it takes me 20 hours, at least I get through it. And it's all about learning. So that's one thing I'd say, is that if you've got these expectations where you think you've seen some of your favorite guitarists and what they can do, and you expect to do it, it's just not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in a month or 2 months. It's probably going to happen a lot longer down the line, but it will happen as long as you persevere. Second one I'd say is set realistic targets. So for example, I am learning a project song, which is Angie by Davy Graham, which I'm showing in my journey videos. And it's a folk song from the 60s, and it's intricate for me, it's difficult, and I've been breaking it down into portions, and it's been slow progress, and I'm getting a little way ahead, but it's taking a lot of time. So what we have to do when we're looking at our learning process is just to kind of set those realistic targets. So if we've got a great song that we want to learn, you just got to break it down, and don't think that you're going to learn it overnight, even after a few hours. It's taking like hours and hours and weeks and weeks. But as long as you mix it up with other things and don't get too frustrated by it, you'll eventually get there. So it's important to set those realistic targets. So maybe try and learn some easy songs. The Justin Guitar course is pretty useful in that respect because it gives you songs that are applicable for each stage. So I've been learning a lot of those to date. So that would be a definite must. The next one would be don't compare. And I don't think I do this at all, because I'm shooting a whole journey about me going from absolute zero to hopefully one day competent guitarist. So it's still an important thing to think about. There's obviously other people out there who might be better than you, have been playing a lot longer than you, have a more natural propensity for music, or perhaps have done a little bit of music that you don't know about. It could be all sorts of different variables that make that person different to you. So there's no point comparing yourself to them, particularly when you're at the beginning part of your journey and they may well be at the middle, the later stages of mastering the instrument. So there's no point getting caught up looking at how other people are getting on. Just enjoy the journey and the process yourself, and learn the songs that really inspire you, that are really passionate for you, and it make the whole thing a lot more enjoyable. So my next one would be follow one learning structure. So before I started on this journey and started recording all these YouTube videos, I chose a process of structure for my guitar learning. I looked at all the YouTube videos that are on offer. I looked at some other courses, some paid courses that are available, and I've yet to explore those, and I will do at a later date. But I chose to look at the free options initially because that's what a lot of people look at when they first start. So what I would say is that make sure you've got some structure to your learning. I chose the Justin Guitar course. I'm enjoying it. I think it's perfect for me. It gives me some structure, something to aim at, some milestones to knock off, and some goals to achieve. So that's cool for me. But there are lots of other places that you can learn with structure. I've actually put an article together on my blog about all the places where you can learn a guitar with structure for free online, completely free, no cost. So I'll put that probably in a note here or in the show notes, but that's well worth checking out if you're just trying to discover where you want to go on your journey, but you need some structure. So I think it's important to tick off bits as you go along, because otherwise you're kind of aimless and you drift, and then ultimately you might just quit because you haven't got any direction. My next one would be don't overdo it. So yes, practice, enjoy, and rest and then repeat, and definitely do that, and do as much as you love and enjoy it and be passionate about it. But if you're just trying to go all out, straight off, get the big guns out and try and smash it and learn it in a few weeks, what you think might be a few weeks, you're just gonna, again, like overcook your expectations. So you need to kind of look at a healthy kind of risk and reward situation. So put the work in, choose some songs, choose some parts of the guitar that you want to learn, particular riffs or whatever it may be, but don't try and do too much. Don't try and run before you can walk, effectively. Another thing you can do with that is create a schedule. So if you've got a particular practice schedule, you don't have to be too rigid with it, but if you give yourself like half an hour a day, 5-10 minutes initially at the start is all you need just to start trying to build that habit, because that's probably the most important part, building a habit and being consistent with it. So if you can create a practice schedule, then you're really going to be steps ahead of many other people who fail to kind of follow it through. I don't want to be one of them. My next one would be commit and resign yourself to the long haul. So what I mean by that is set your expectations low. It sounds pessimistic, but it's a really good way of managing your learning process with the guitar. So if you think something's going to take 20 hours, then double it, 40 hours. Expect to take 40 hours to learn it. So then if you get it sooner than that, then great, you feel you've nailed it early and you're progressing. By just lowering the bar a little bit, you make yourself actually feel better, you get easy small wins, and you feel like you're progressing a lot quicker. The next one is the weight loss effect. So for example, if you haven't seen someone in a few weeks and then you catch up and you mention it to them, oh, you've lost some weight, and they'll be like, have I? And they probably haven't noticed, even though they've been dieting, training, going to the gym and trying to change their physique. What they are doing is paying too close attention on a daily basis to see, oh, have I lost a bit here, have I lost a bit there? And they are not realizing that they actually have. So it's that old idea that the close scrutiny kind of prevents you seeing the progress that you're making. And that's so clear with guitar, and it's a real important part of why I'm filming myself, and I just thought I'd throw it up on YouTube, is because like even right now I just think about what I've learned so far. I don't feel like I've really made any real steps, and I'm always judging what I've done, but I'm going to be releasing a video this week about my progress over the month, and I watched that back the other day, and I'm no Clapton, but I've certainly progressed since the beginning of the course, and so it's important maybe to film yourself, or just to now and then take stock of what you can actually do and what you've learned playing the guitar. So there you go, guys, that's 7 tips. There's actually 4 more that I put together that are really useful, so I urge you to check out the blog post below, and I'll catch you next time.